But yeah, this is something I think we all need to be interested in. Like this is a story that the Bible is telling, that it wants all of us to be on the edge of our seat, to be watching and understanding, to get into these various questions and to ponder in our hearts and out loud. Like what is happening here? Like what and this again, it's really for the glory of God. It's because God is an incredible storyteller. He's also sovereign over the world, and he's doing something in every single age of humanity to bring the story to a crescendo that will bring him glory forever. And I think this is such an important element of it. And so, anytime we belittle it and say, "Who cares what happens to Israel?" or "Who cares how many Jews are in the world?" or "Who cares what where the last tribes are?" the Bible cares. Like I care about everything the Bible cares about. If the Bible really wants me to understand this stuff, then let's really dive into it and try to understand it and ponder it together. And this is one of the fun parts of my relationship with Kelsey in particular, because I think you have a huge appreciation for this question, and we've been pondering this. And your husband Matthew, he's equally excited and interested, and all our family members are. But this is something I just want to like kind of just give you guys a little window into. We care about this stuff. We talk about this stuff all the time. This stuff matters.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely that's one of the things that first captivated me about the Bible in terms of a story was this stuff about Israel, just even just throughout history can't be explained it can't be rationally explained outside of a biblical worldview. And I think it confuses a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of confusion in our world right now about the state of Israel and about like who's right and who's wrong and like even in the Christian world. And I think it's very clear to see that like if you don't discount Israel for the sake of the story and for the sake of the glory of God, even just for those two things, like not even for who they are or whatever, but it's just like just for the story and for God's glory, you acknowledge their place, then it makes it a lot easier to, um, make sense of what is happening even just in modern times.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know how you explain a lot of these things. And one of my favorite quotes was when Pascal, who I think lived in the 1600s, was asked by the king of France for one argument. Give me one argument for the existence of God. And Pascal's response was, "Your Majesty, the Jews."
Mhm.
In
I
other
love that.
words, like you, even back then in France in the 1600s, the Jewish people who were living in dispersed communities around Europe and other places, they were distinct enough people that it sort of was beyond explanation for somebody as brilliant as Pascal to make any sense of the history of the Jewish people up to the 1600s, other than the existence of God. And Pascal had nothing on what we have today.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of miraculous events that have occurred, the 400 years since Pascal, you can 10x anything that he might have, understood. And so I think this is another reason why it's so important for us to understand. This doesn't mean, by the way, that, we have to agree with everything that the state of Israel does, or this isn't,
Right.
this is not a political statement. We care about the glory of God. And if God is getting glory, and biblically, again, this isn't something we've made up. The Bible is making the argument that when you watch the story of the Jewish people, it's going to redound to the glory of God through shocking events in history, and it's going to come to a massive climax at the end. We need to be watching this story. This is the movie that we all need to be like obsessed with. And this is a way that and the fact that it's real, the fact that there might be even opportunities for us to humbly participate in some way in the unfolding of some of these things, that is just an incredible, privilege. But at the very least, like, appreciate it. It's incredible. It's an incredible story.